Well, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the farm. I'm here in the study this evening, not having a drink or nothing like that. Just come for a chat because the whole goddamn world has seemed to lost its mind. So, trigger warning, we're going to talk about politics tonight. And I make a special point on this channel of not talking politics because, it can be a pretty polarizing subject. And there's nothing, aside from maybe religion that can divide a populace quicker than politics. So if that's not your cup of tea, no harm, no foul. I won't take offense. It's fine. If you don't want to watch the rest of this video, click off and go watch something else. That's cool. No big deal. But I guess in reality, we're not so much going to talk about politics as we're going to talk about human behavior. It just happens to involve some people that are in politics. And so yesterday I had one video or many different versions of the same video sent to me by several people. Some were looking for my take on it. Some were just looking to share it for whatever, hopefully good intentions, hopefully nothing nefarious, but it's out there. And it involves Chrystia Freeland, Deputy Prime Minister of Canada. So she was in Grand Prairie on Thursday, and she came up here apparently to speak to farmers. I don't know, I'm a farmer. I didn't even know she was in Grand Prairie. And that's like literally 15, 20 minutes up the road. But regardless, anyways, that's what she was here for. And a gentleman by the name of, what was his name? Elliot McDavid. That's what it was. Elliot McDavid and his, I assume, wife, significant other, lady friend, regardless. Anyways, ambushed. They went to City Hall inquiring about Chrystia Freeland's whereabouts, and then they proceeded to come across her and then ambushed her in the lobby and then pursued her further into an elevator where just a verbal, and I'll call it assault, underwent. It was chaos. It was absolute chaos. So, I try not to teach too many pigs to sing because it just doesn't work in anybody's favor. What I mean by that is just don't try to get into it with people on the internet too much because you don't come out any smarter as a result of it. But I just couldn't help myself with this one because regardless, and I said this yesterday, I said it even in the video, regardless of where you sit on the political spectrum, you should not speak to a woman this way. And the comments they just like go off like crazy. It's just wild to see how people react. And I get it. Again, it's a polarizing subject that many, many people are very passionate about. However, this particular gentleman, and I use the term gentleman very loosely in this particular case, but anyways, he uses the phrase, and pardon my French here, because I know that some younger eyes watch this. Pardon my French here, bleep me out if you have to. He calls her a fucking treasonous bitch, and he says, "What the fuck are you doing in Alberta? Get the fuck out of this province, you fucking treasonous bitch." And so, needless to say, I think that's absolutely reprehensible, regardless of your, again, wherever you sit on the political spectrum, however you feel about the policies that she's enacted, however you feel about where she sits in the arena with the current Liberal government, it doesn't matter. You cannot chase a woman into an elevator with a camera in her face and just cuss her up and down one way and the other and expect that to be acceptable. However, what's really worrying, and this is why I say the whole world has lost its mind, is because there was a lot of people that jumped to defend Elliot McDavid's behavior. And I was aghast. I was disappointed. I was a little bit ashamed by that, because I've said in previous videos, actually, that toxic masculinity doesn't actually exist. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's only such thing as toxic personality. But, perhaps that's just my narrow, my narrow view. I just have not yet experienced it. And then you see a video like this come out and you're just like, it's undeniable. Yes, that person is an asshole, but how does one become an asshole at that level without having, an aspect of toxic masculinity embedded within you? And so anyways, I put out like a 15-second TikTok on this thing, and the internet just jumped all down my throat. And the reality is, I was never there to defend Chrystia Freeland. I was never there to defend the Liberal government. I was never there to do anything other than to say that regardless of the situation, big scary dude should not chase a woman across the lobby into an elevator and just berate her left, right, and every which way but Sunday. And I mean, you could argue, okay, well, big scary dude. I mean, that's maybe you're stereotyping him. Well, I'm sorry, but you got a guy that looks like, I mean, a trailer park folk hero. Let's be honest. He's just an absolute ogre of a man, 6 foot, 250 probably, big guy, ripped, torn up wife beater, dirty jeans, big beard, deep voice, just cussing up a storm, and in front of a group of women. And I mean, it just shows the class of the man. And I get that he's angry. I get that he's passionate. And, you know, maybe he's got a career in politics, but I highly doubt it. And I think, and this is the sad part. This is the sad part. This is why Alberta continually loses in the political arena when you're dealing with anybody from the remainder of Canada. And it's not because this person represents the body of Alberta, but it's just that you just can't keep guys like this out of the media, because they just got to be front and center. They got to be the loudest voice in the room. They got to scream. They got to yell. They just love the word fuck. They have no other vocabulary. And it's mind-numbing. It's very frustrating. And I say this from a point of view of somebody who is quite passionate about holding some traditional conservative values myself. I'm by no means liberal oriented. I would say I'd be probably right of center. I don't mind coming back to center on some logical issues. But to see behavior like this is just absolutely reprehensible, right? And so we've got a deputy prime minister who studied at Oxford, studied at Harvard. She knows 5 languages. She's very, very successful, and has worked her way up through the political ranks to become deputy prime minister. I mean, that alone deserves a certain amount of respect, regardless of whether you agree with the policies or not, regardless of whether, how you feel about what has transpired over the last 2 years. The position affords a certain amount of a base level of respect. But then you got this guy who shows up, dirty jeans, ripped wife beater, ball cap, big beard, yelling at women like a fucking ogre. And you think, okay, if we're going to have a debate here, who's going to come out on top of this? Who's going to make the more compelling argument? And so the rest of the nation is going to see this clown. I'm going to call him a clown because that's what he is. He might be big, he might be scary, he might know lots of bad words. But at the end of the day, he acts like a clown. He's very immature, can't string together a logical sentence, can't make a logical argument. All he is just a big ball of anger and hatred. And you know what? He's just a ticking time bomb. And that's what we saw the other day in Grand Prairie. And it's really, really, like I said, disgusting behavior, disappointing. And you know what? His wife was there. His wife was there filming. You want to say all those bad words to a woman? Get your wife to do it. If she says it, whatever, it's game on. It's still not right to say it. But I mean, it's a heck of a lot better than him saying it. Anyways, that's my little rant for the day. The world has lost its mind. And yeah, hopefully I didn't lose you all on this one. But that's the thing. If you want to have an argument, you better come to the table with something to say, something meaningful, something impactful, something that can actually change the world, something that can compel somebody else to do something, not just grumpy noises and sounds. Anyways, I hope you have a fantastic evening. Hopefully there's no more nonsense, and I'll see you tomorrow.